Woo, we are back. I'm so vexed right now. This is Blockchain Bros, episode number 4 with Mining Chamber.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing?
The man, the myth, the legend.
It could be said deeper. The legend.
Yeah, I could do my whole thing that I like to do. The legend, the man himself.
Now I understand why you have multiple wives.
This is probably why I don't have too many female viewers. They're like, the guy's creepy. I just don't know.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all part of the show.
Welcome to the show, man. I really appreciate having you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, my friend.
I got a crap ton of questions for you, but let's go over the basics, man.
Mining.
I get a ton of questions on mining, and I figured the best thing to do is to have the guy that taught me everything I know on the show, which is you, good sir. Salute.
Thank you, my good sir.
How long have you been mining?
Honestly, not for long. I'm probably out of all the creators, I would be the shortest amount of time. I've started mining when it came to Canada for the cheap electricity, so I would say 2 years. Barely finished 2 years now.
Wow.
So 2 years mining since the Ethereum at $100. So good days back then.
Wow.
Nice.
You know, here's the crazy thing, man. I had a partner. He's like half Egyptian, half British. And we were going to get into mining almost 5 years ago. And he backed out on me. And I didn't have the technical know-how, where to look, all that stuff. I didn't even think about coming on YouTube. And so I just ended up buying a car with the money that I got for a GPU miner.
Man, it's okay. You got into it eventually at some point. Yeah, so that's what matters. You didn't miss the boat, at least.
Yeah, and that's another question that a lot of people have right now. Is we're looking at network difficulty, something like 310 terahash. Let me take a look real quick. Actually, I can actually tell you. For Ethereum right now, the network hash rate is 307 terahash.
Mm-hmm.
People are just buying up equipment left and right. You can't get GPUs. You can't get, dude. You know what I can't get? I can't get freaking risers and splitters. I can't get these things fast enough. Just a ton of issues in getting to GPU mining right now. It's very expensive. Is it still worth it? Is it too late? That's kind of two questions actually.
Is it worth it? It depends on the prices you can get. If you can get your hands on some MSRP GPUs, as soon as they come out, I think it's fine. Either way, you're good with the GPU. You'll have it for whatever else you need. But if you want to buy the GPUs at the markup that eBay has and every other reseller basically has, I feel like at that point you should reconsider. Don't buy an RX 580 for $400. That's not gonna take you anywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna mine. You're gonna make, let's say, $300 in the 4 or 5 months coming up. But then eventually, you never know what can happen. The profits might plummet. You can make $1 or less from that card a month. So it's kind of scary. I would say if you get the prices for the right cost, you're fine. But if you don't, wait on the side until everything calms down a little bit.
Yeah, they'll go buy 3080s for 1,300 euros.
It's all about balance.
That's what's going on over here in Germany.
Man, I wanted
to buy a 3080. I wanted to build a 3080 rig. Dude, 1,300 euros each. It's just ridiculous right now. It's insane.
Crazy.
Actually, and that's the funny thing, because you were talking about 580s. Right now, you can buy a 3060 for that price right there for about 500 euros. Actually, those they're going for 400 or 500 euros over there. They're still reasonably priced, but
yeah, so that's not bad for a 3060.
It's not bad at all. Actually, I was kind of surprised. It's cheaper than 5700s, and it's a better performance right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
hey, John.
Man. Yeah, I got brain farts right here. I got questions. See, normally I usually freestyle stuff, but I just didn't want to miss anything. So now I got questions, and it just messes up my natural flow. Okay, so talking about getting into mining, and John is miner on demand. Who's John? Oh, hey, what's up?
What?
This dude right here he's from Mining Chambers Discord. This dude. He saved me a lot of heartache. I'll tell you what, because he's one of the more active members on the Discord.
You're falling out, Abu.
We gotta wait for AbuAmerican to come back in. Disconnected.
Yeah, he's got a lot of questions. So yeah.
But as he was saying, John is one of the most active community well, he's the moderator of Mining Chamber, and man, answering everyone's questions left and right. Definitely, it's amazing.
So yeah, since AbuAmerica isn't immediately returning, I'll start shooting some questions.
Let's get it.
Well, when it concerns the mining story, I'm going to say naturally you've got GPU mining, ASIC mining, cloud mining, which is something else now. I'm not. He's back in double. So, question I wanted to pose, depending on the project, what's your experience with the best types of GPU miners, parallel, serial, etc., etc. So,
like cloud mining, GPU rental services, and all that stuff. Like all these different type of categories.
yeah, just general opinion, because I know there's a lot of people. Well, me and Abu, we know a bit about mining. You're obviously a professional, but I know there's a lot of people actually, probably from my side also watching, but aren't immediately familiar with mining. So it might be handy to see and hear a legend talking about, well,
no such thing, but I'll
basic stuff.
definitely give you my feedback on it. So when you look at it as cloud mining and those platforms, I honestly never liked them. Never found a reason to do cloud mining, because it's always in my mind is like it doesn't make sense for them to rent you mining power when they can just use it themselves to make more money. You know, like there is a catch in between. Either they're not being transparent about, or we're just not seeing it. We're not reading through the platform properly. So also one more thing about cloud mining, like for Genesis.com, or I think GenesisMining.com, a while back, they used to sell contracts for mining, and then when the market went down, they closed their miners and everyone lost their money. So you don't have that security of your funds. Like you're not going to get the worth of your money if they decide to, go bye-bye. But cloud mining is one. Mining rental services, I feel like that's used especially for like coins that are new that come out. They want some hash rate on their network, so they would rent power from NiceHash and stuff like that. They would put it on their networks to secure their coin network. Other than that, what other type we have? I think us, for the general consumer, like us miners, home miners, we should definitely go with building our own rigs. We shouldn't buy a pre-built rig. We should build our own, and that would cut the costs as much as possible. Because the main idea is you want to break even as fast as possible, and the rest of the money is passive income in a way. So you want to make sure you reduce your cost. Don't buy a pre-built one for $2,000 markup. Stick to your own. Build your own. Just spend some time. That's it.
I agree entirely with your statement about building your own, especially GPU mining systems. By reason, well, you're going to miss out most on the technical details of building it yourself and actually upscaling should the hash rate start to increase. So that's one of the reasons why I posed the question, just to make it aware to the viewers here that, yeah, you can buy pre-built miners, doesn't matter, ASIC miners or GPU mining systems. Generally, I always advise to go towards GPU mining systems because of their adaptability, their multi-purpose use. For example, if the drivers aren't up to par with the current hash rates, you can still reuse them for, well, gaming rigs, for example, or even implement them towards another coin. So yeah, I completely 100% agree there when you said GPU mining, building it yourself, way to go.
For sure.
And now that AbuAmerican is back, I'll let him continue with his questions because I
honestly don't know what happened there, man. I get new internet and it starts crashing. It's because I'm going over Wi-Fi and I'm not wired. Anywho, going into, well, actually, you know what? Let's deal with questions because I told guys they can ask you questions. So let me go ahead and just pop a question here real quick. We got our first question, which is, what's your take on using AMD versus Nvidia GPUs?
AMD versus Nvidia GPUs. If John is still here, he'll know that I'm a big fan of AMD. And I've always, like, all of the GPU overview videos are mostly AMD. And the only one that we did NVIDIA was the RTX 3060 Ti. So I think up to that point where RTX 3060 Ti's or RTX 3000 series didn't come out yet, AMD was the king of GPU mining still. Like, we do have 1660 Supers. They're great. They're very stable. But then for the price of your money, AMD would still get you more hash rate for less cost. But now, where we're at the market now, you can buy a 5700 XT for a price of 3060 Ti. Definitely don't look at the AMD side. Stick with the NVIDIA side. Like, First of all, these Nvidia cards, newer generation, better resale value later on. And then the second thing is that they're more reliable. Like Nvidia GPUs in general, you hook it up, run it, you don't need to worry about it crashing. Like I've had basically no Nvidia cards crash on me, or I have to constantly worry about the rig going down. But with AMD RX 580s and stuff like that, you'll see some weird stuff going on. Like one card drops 20 mega hash and all these phenomenons, so that you have to take care of. But like John said, Nvidia has their owners, AMD has slaves. I mean, AMD's still good if you get it for if you get RX 580 for $100, you're gonna make your money back in 3 months. So at this market price. But if it drops, it's still a good price if you find them cheap. But I would say Nvidia right now for 2021, definitely Nvidia.
We were just talking about this backstage before we came on air, that basically I was looking at some 3060s and they're going like cheaper than the 5700s, and you get better hash rate. You get about 10 mega hash more than you do with the 5700s.
5 mega hash more. So you get 5 mega hash more for because the 5700 XCs can do 55 mega hash.
55, that's true. Yeah.
The 3060 Ti's can do 60 or 62. It depends on how much you can push it. The power usage is about 20 watts less. So it's pretty good. Wow. Okay, the 3060 Ti's are amazing.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, well, they're rolling in the questions now. So Suleiman Superbike says, I only got 2K to spare. What's the cheapest miner I can make?
Cheapest miner for 2K. I don't think most people understand the part that you don't need to start with 6 cards. You can buy just 2 cards and build your way up with it. So 2K, you'll spend, let's say, around $500 for all your essential parts, which is the motherboard, CPU, processor. CPU is the processor. So the power supply and everything like that, you'll get that for like $500. And then the rest, the $1,500 you spend on like 3 GPUs. So you can grab like 3 3060 Ti's, 2 3080s for, of course, whatever price you can find them for. You're probably going to get less. But and then after that, if you have 2 cards or 1 card, you just build your way up with the profits. You get the profits monthly. You try to invest more into your rig, build up the rig. You shouldn't try to go for 6 cards right away for a small budget.
Yeah, I think what it is, Suleiman, we're pretty close. He's in one of my groups, and so I only build 8 card rigs, but I don't do it all at once. It's the same thing. I get profits. I buy another card. This time I just I splashed and I bought like 4 cards. I put up a video yesterday. I bought 4 cards.
Nice.
So yeah, now I'm looking to like go ahead and splash on like 3060. I don't understand this question. Maybe you'll understand it. R9 270 and AMD 4 times 760K. What can I get out of this in terms of mining? Do you understand the question? I think
X4 760K is just a CPU processor. The R9 270, I don't know how much VRAM does it have. If you have less than 4 VRAM, then I don't think you'll be able to get much. Let me bring that card up real quickly and I'll tell you.
Wow, look at that. See, I would have never thought to do this. Google is your friend.
Google is always your friend. That's where I get all my information from. Okay, so
that's how most miners are being built, through Google, searching out the correct button.
Absolutely. So for the R9 270, it does have only 2 GB of memory. You can't mine Ethereum with this, a bummer. And I would say you can only mine, I would say Kapow. I think you can mine with it, Kapow, but you still wouldn't get a lot for it. And I feel like it would burn out very fast since it's an older generation card.
Yeah,
that's my take on it. I don't have much information.
Isn't really much anything. You can't even do Ethereum Classic, and Ethereum Classic is trying to shine lately. So I mean, that's really low.
Yeah, with Ethereum Classic, I'm expecting there will be even more increase in hash power there. So
they're actually, I'm surprised they're up to like right now. I think they're up to like 110 terahash. That's like a huge jump up from what they were. 108 terahash. That's a huge jump up from what they were before when I first started. So we have D-Lam asking, is it better to have 2 1,000 watt power supplies or 1 2,000 watt?
I debated with myself on that topic a lot of times. I would always want to go for 1 PSU because I hate the fact that I'm going to take 2 outlets later on. So now there's not a PSU that's 2,000 watts as far as I know, unless you get them from Alibaba. But those usually that are 1600 watts and above, they have a different prong that you plug. It needs to be 240 volt most of the time, since there is no 15 amp plug that's going to be able to supply that much watts. So it depends on your situation where you live. So if you live in a place where 240 volt is normal for you, I would go with the 2000 watts. And also one more factor to look into is the PCIe cables. If your PCIe cables is enough to power all the GPUs with just that one 2000 watt PSU, then you're set. But if it's not, then a 2 power supplies usually end up with more cables that you can use for more GPUs. So it all depends on how many GPUs you're building, your environment, if you have 240 volts or 120 volts, and then how many PCIe cables do you need. So if you're running short, then get 2 power supplies for sure.
On that, I can kind of somewhat comment. I have one of those Chinese 2000 watt power supplies. I also have one of those EVGA 1600s. One of the biggest difference you have is like the 2000 watt power supplies out of China come with fixed cables, so they're not modular. So you're gonna have like a bunch of cables that I'm not gonna use. There's a lot of SATA connection cables coming out of the back, a lot of Molex that I'm not gonna use. It's stuff to me that I find absolutely useless. The cables I don't think they're long enough for like an 8-card rig, so you're gonna have to get extenders. You got like a lot of issues to deal with those Chinese 2000 watt power supplies, because none of them are modular with the cables that you can plug in as you wish and as you like. You just have a bunch of cables hanging out of the back. It's bag for cable management, whatnot. That said, I am quite happy with it, but I'm not really sure about its efficiency until I get like all 8 cards running. I can actually I could probably do the math and figure out if it's more efficient than the EVGA, but I highly doubt it. I'm just looking at the numbers already. I could tell you it's probably not more efficient. Looking at SO's Mining Chamber's latest video on server power supplies, my next machine that I'm building is going to be a 3060 machine with 8 cards. I'm going to try 2 power supplies, 2 server power supplies, and so maybe I could drop a video on that. But you guys know my videos aren't even close to the quality of Mining Chambers, so it's best to go to him and check his
information is always information. Thank you, but information is always information. I appreciate.
Yeah. Before I go on with some other questions, let me get back to some of my questions here before I fell offline. So miners, we have a lot to worry about in the upcoming future when it comes down to profitability. As we know, profitability is highest with Ethereum, and Ethereum's like, right, I think today it was like, what was it?
I know it's in euros, 1,000, well, slightly below 1,000 around.
Yeah, $1,310 right now.
Yeah.
Per Ethereum. I never put out my numbers, but I can tell you guys, I'll just give you an idea how good the numbers are. When network difficulty increased, I lost $500 a month in profitability, and I still don't care. I can still rent 3 of the places I'm in right now off of that, what I'm making right now. So that gives you an idea. I'm making a lot of money right now. So, I mean, but profitability we're worried about, and one of the biggest issues for anybody who's thinking about getting into it is EIP 1559. Have you looked into that? Do you know anything about that right now?
Isn't it where they're going to take off the mining fees for miners?
Yeah, the gas fees and whatnot and all that. They're going to burn the gas fees.
Yeah, and that should be coming in late 2021, around August, I believe, or some sort.
They said roughly 6 months. So we've got like about, that's a little bit over 6 months. Yeah. Well, does that worry you? Does that bother you?
It kind of does. If I can remember correctly, what's the base of a block reward for without the fees? 2, right?
Yeah, 2.
So we usually right now the average, I think it's 3 with the fees combined.
Yeah.
I would say if we do get to that point and the price remains at this point, like of Ethereum remains at $1,200 and up, and we get 1 Ethereum out, so just that's a third of your profits kind of gone. So just calculate the thirds of your profits now, take it out, see if that's still good for you. I think for me, I'm still good, like especially with the cheap electricity. The price keeps going up. We're also set because right now, even comparing the profits to like 2 months ago, I would still make this almost the same amount of Ethereum. It's just that the Ethereum price is way more higher. So the profits are just drastically higher. But till then, I think we're still set. Even if they implement that, it's a bummer. It's going to take off a lot of profits, especially when the volume increases of transactions. But, what can we do? We're not going to see that $500 profit days anymore. We're just going to see a constant fixed profit until they go completely proof of stake.
Indeed.
Yeah, so message is if you've got a miner mining Ethereum, do it now. Take all the gains because starting from August, there will be slashings, and I'm fairly certain there will be a lot of beginning miners who just started that might lose quite some profit short term. If because I'm afraid also Ethereum is going to have some corrections. It's now at an all-time high, but from what I've seen, they're going to test the mainnet somewhere for Ethereum 2.0, and if I'm not mistaken, it will involve some evolutions concerning its price, and not only with the burning of the gas fees, but also changes on the structure, which might impact it. So I'm slightly afraid on that point. But in any case, we've luckily got Bitcoin Classic, no Ethereum Classic. Sorry, I know I'm with Ethereum miners here.
So that brings us to the next topic, basically. I mean, like, I don't know. I sometimes get the impression, man, it's like, whoever, Vitalik, I think he hates miners. It's like, it seems like he's got something personal. A miner stole his girl in high school. I don't know, or something, but
he made it clear in his tweets, for sure.
Something's up there. Ethereum 2.0, where basically Ethereum leaves proof of work, the miners, and goes to proof of stake. Now, I mean, I was watching Bitsby Tripping the other day, and there's a lot of back and forth in terms of whether or not his personal belief. I actually hold his belief that they're not going to go full proof of stake. I think they're going to do a hybrid between proof of work and proof of stake. What's your take on that? What's your opinion? This is just opinion, speculation. Of course,
yeah, for sure.
Nobody can answer it. Yeah.
Honestly, I highly respect Bitsby Tripping. He's like the OG of this. Like, he knows everything. Like, he's very organized with it too. I think his take is right. There is a chance of them not going fully proof of stake, but at the same time, I don't see why not. Like, why wouldn't they do it? Since Vitalik hates miners in a way, might as well just go full proof of stake. But I don't think it's going to be anytime near. I feel like we're going to at least see it 1 to 2 more years of mining, or 3 years, because of how constantly delayed they are with their roadmap. So I think we'll be fine until we break even, all of us. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Sure. Yeah. And, just actually rolling back for a second there, guys, I just wanted to make something clear. We were talking about EIP 1559, where they burn basically the fees. When they say burn the fees, and this is why I always say Vitalik hates miners, I want you guys to understand something. If you're a trader, you still pay the fees, but the fees just don't go to the miner. They just burn them. It's literally like burning cash so that we don't get the fees. I don't know if that's the intent behind it, but it's just so you guys understand, the hostility we're facing.
To put it in other words, the transaction fees actually help sustaining the blockchain. What Ethereum has decided to do with burning the fees is saying, you guys with transactions, you no longer support the miners, so the miners get a knife in the back, quite literally. That's what it boils down to. But in more fluffy terms.
The logic he said was, one of his guys said, was that by burning the fees, they reduce the amount of Ethereum being produced and therefore increase the value of the Ethereum on the market, which we see right now is completely illogical because the prices keep on going up no matter what. Anyway, let's go back into some questions here. I got this is more like, I guess, a hypothetical. Hi guys, have you ever tried a SUSE B250 with 14 AMDs? Wow, nice, mashallah. 5700 XT and 5 Nvidia no P106 families, such as 3060 Ti. Thanks. It's one hell of a rig there, bro.
Let's see, 14 AMD, 5 Nvidia, no P106. You're not going to be able to run it off the B250 Mining Expert. You'll need 5 P106 or mining dedicated cards for the last 5 slots, I believe. So you'll definitely not be able to do that, but you can do 14 5700 XTs only, you'll be fine. Or 14 3060 Ti's, you'll be fine. Or a mixed 7.7. But you can't just run all of them regular GPUs without mining dedicated cards, as per the manual on the Mining Expert. So you'll definitely need mining cards.
Nice. Any links for recommending PSUs? Check out Mining Chamber's website, miningchamber.com. It has links to his channel, everything. He has a very, very, concise, very well structured videos and everything. Go over there, check it out. He's got a lot of information over there. Links to all of his YouTube and all that stuff, social media.
Thank you.
What do we got here? Can you mine with an RTX 4000? I've never even heard of RTX 4000. Let me Google this. What the heck?
I don't think they're out yet. I haven't seen the future there.
RTX 4000. Oh,
PX.
okay. They actually, yeah, there's the P Quattro RTX 4000 and gigabyte going for 950 euros. Huh.
Form factor design.
Let's see. Oh, it's a Quadro card. I might be wrong, but I think Quadro cards are mainly done for core intensive work. So I don't think their memory will be better in any way. I think mining will be similar to the cards that we see now. I think they're mainly like for machine learning and stuff like that. I could be wrong. This is just my opinion on it.
Oh, we got a good question here. Rolex Maximus has a very good question right here. What does the term hash mean in the context of mining?
Okay, so my capability of English might not be able to explain this very well, but the best way I can put it is with some cybersecurity terms. So brute forcing will tell you how many words you can try per second on a certain password field. Your hash rate is similar. So you're basically trying to find a solution for an equation, and how many, like for example, 5 mega hash will be like 5,000 hashes a second. So you can do 5,000 solution attempts a second and such like that. And you'll need, until you find the right solution, that's where a share is accepted, or you get a share submitted. So I don't know if that explains it or not, but that's as close as I can get.
If I may, in more plain English terms, when you're mining, you're actually trying to solve a puzzle. That's one of the correlations I tend to make. And a hash actually indicates how many times a puzzle can be solved. Well, how many times the puzzle can be solved, that's a hash. One hash means, well, your computer can solve the puzzle one time. Actually, with advanced cards, with lots of hashing power, you'll see 5,000 hashes per second or more, which implies, well, the GPU can process the puzzle 5,000 times in order to find an answer. That's what a hash actually means. Solving the puzzle in a certain amount of time, the amount of times the algorithm from the puzzle is being, well, turned within the GPU, CPU, or well, mining rig in total.
Actually, I got something here. This is pretty clear. Of course, this is Bitcoin specific, but this just goes in general to any sort of mining. It says right here, the hash rate is the measure unit of the processing power of the Bitcoin network, or any network for that matter, any sort of crypto, currency network that works off of proof of work. The Bitcoin network, or the network must make intensive mathematical operations for security purposes. When the network reached a hash rate of 10 terahash, this means it could make 10 trillion calculations per second. So more mega hash, more calculations, basically. So the faster you can calculate, the more solutions that you come up with in terms of earning cryptocurrency. Sound good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. What Rolex Maximus actually said in the comments. So a hash is an attempt to solve an equation. Yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah, just like John mentioned as well. Pretty cool. Yep.
Nice. John says hash rate is how many hash can solve per second. Thank you, good sir. And before I got cut off, I was actually praising John here. Miner on Demand. He's on Mining Chambers Discord. And when I got stuck, this is the guy. Remember the story I tell you guys all the time. It was him, Miner on Demand, who said it. I tell this story all the time. So Miner on Demand, I've told this story on my channel before, but you guys have never heard it before. So you're about to hear this for the first time. So I go on the Discord, and the first time I ask about like mining, he comes on and he says, I said, yo, I'm building a mining machine. I'm stuck. I'm having problems, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, do you have any experience building computers? I'm like, no. He says, do you have any experiences with this? And I'm like, no. Is he experienced with this? No. He says, so you decided you wanted to learn how to fly a plane, but not only that, you wanted to build your own plane.
I love it.
I was like, dude, what are you doing to me here?
You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but he's helped me out like mad. I mean, he's taking his time to like actually answer my questions in detail. So, it's been a beautiful. He even made a video for me so I could like see how some stuff is done. It's pretty impressive, man. Nice guy. I have to say, just on a rant here, the mining community is probably the least toxic online. I mean, a lot of guys know I'm here with like, relationships and man stuff. And it is like one of the most conflicting between groups of guys, and then outsiders coming in hating on dudes. It's one of the most toxic places on the internet. So to actually come and run into a bunch of guys that just only want to help you, dude, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You didn't think it's like internet paradise,
For sure.
Yeah, well, to me it sounds obvious if you help other miners, because in a sense you're helping yourself also, because you're securing more and more the blockchain and increasing the hash rate, which implies that the rewards are better distributed and you might make some more gains. So the more the merrier, like they say.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I think like with mining, there's so much less of like where you don't want to help someone due to ego and such like that. I haven't seen anyone be like so stubborn with it or putting his ego in front of everyone, like thinking you're better, you're not going to help them. For example, like I would put this in context with like coding groups. So sometimes when you get in a coding group, you ask a stupid question, most people look down at you. But then when you come to mining, I think everyone knows where they started. Everyone is always helping each other out, which is, amazing. Definitely, it's a very nice environment.
Yeah, it really is. I swear music started playing when I entered. It's like, hallelujah. Hey, we had a question here and I was asked to like answer it, but basically it was answered with the RTX 4000. So the question about the RTX A6000 is the same answer with the RTX 4000. It's basically the same device. So the same answer applies, guys. Well, this is more like a technical problem. You have to do some troubleshooting there. It's like I mined for 2 months on my 37 and it isn't running anymore.
That's not good
Plug
news.
it in.
Good.
Make sure your riser didn't burn out. Just try a different riser, or SATA. Don't use SATA on your riser. Yeah. Most of the time, it's the issue.
Suleiman, you missed this part right here. We answered this question already. Dimitri asked the question, I guess, when I went off air. Does anyone sell pre-made GPU mining rigs? It's advised that you don't do that, for multiple reasons. But they are available. I see them actually on eBay. They're selling for like 5,000 euros, and whatnot. They're pre-made. You can get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are dedicated sites who sell them, but as mentioned before, it's always better to try and build your own GPU mining rig. Now, I dare say from the investor's perspective, it isn't a sin to do so, to buy a pre-built miner, but yeah, you can achieve better gains when you build it yourself. That's it. Especially with the scalability that is enabled if you build it yourself. If, for example, some of the GPU cards is outdated, you can replace it with the necessary technical knowledge and a little bit of adaptation in the software, but you can scale it much more easily.
For sure. And also one important factor is if you're doing this to save time, if you're just trying to buy a pre-built one to save time, you're most likely going to lose all this time troubleshooting when something goes wrong. You're going to start from scratch. You're not going to know what to do, and you're not going to know how everything is working together. So you will have to eventually learn it all up and be able to do all the maintenance yourself. Now, if you're a big investor, if you're trying to put millions into this business, then yes, hiring someone that does it is better than just buying pre-built, and then you're going to be stuck with all these pre-builts. Oh, yeah. The mic, hopefully all as well. But yeah.
Just building off of what Mining Chamber said there, as a person who just recently got into mining like a few months ago, if you buy a pre-built mining rig, you're not going to know how to troubleshoot your rig when something goes wrong. And these things, they spaz out, man. Sometimes they just go spazzy epileptic on you, and then you're sitting there like, how are you going to know when to change out a riser? When you're looking at your screen, you're getting a bunch of bad shares, whatever else. I just had this the other day. I mean, my miners just run. I travel, I go, places for days. And then I know when I'm starting to get bad shares, I have an idea what's going on. Like it was my risers. I didn't even know the risers could affect that. A riser goes bad. I don't know, it's on the blink or something. And then your card starts like, just spitting out like, rejected or bad shares, all sorts of things that you're not going to know if you buy a pre-built rig. So it's best to do it yourself, because when things go wrong, and they do go wrong, what are you going to send it back to the guy and have him fix it for you at a price? No.
Plus shipping, like $500 shipping.
There you go. And that's scary stuff. Yeah. It's scary because those things aren't cheap, man. You send that. I wouldn't want to send it to anybody, my rigs.
The thing is, you probably can try to fix a pre-built GPU miner. But if you make a mistake at that point in time, well, the warranty is over. And as soon as someone sees you've been meddling with the screws, well, the shop will say, we're not going to fix it because, well, you've been tampering with it. So it implies that probably more than $2,000 have been.
Daniel, you ask how much dollars per day do you make on a rig? I say this a lot. I don't like to talk about my numbers, man. I really don't. It's kind of, you get this in Germany. It's a cultural thing. I don't know. Maybe you're German. And German's like, how much do you make a month? And I'm just like, hey, man.
well, here in Belgium they do so too, and I answer with enough.
It's a European thing. It's a European thing. It really is. I mean, they just come up, they ask you how much you make, and it's like the most regular thing in the world. I'm like,
but also,
well, what position were you with your wife this morning? It's like very personal, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So Daniel, I'm not berating you, Daniel. Well, I will tell you this. I'm happily well over $50 a day. Yeah, and that's been for a while now. And now that I have more machines, you can just sort of figure it out in your head. That's the best I'll give you.
Also, on that topic, I would say, well, naturally, I know it's important for many people to say, how much in dollars can you make, etc., etc. Now, what I prefer to say is, you're dealing with cryptocurrency. It is a currency in and in itself. Do not try to back down towards dollars or euros or Great British pounds. Doesn't matter. You're earning money at that point, and while the value might change over time, especially now with the ongoing bull runs, is great. But consider the coins you've mined as money in itself that you can use, especially with increased adaptation going on. Well, you can start buying lots of things with cryptocurrencies more and more. So try to keep that in mind.
D-Lam asks, what's the best free mining software that okay, guys, remember I'm an English teacher here. You guys with these killing me here. What is the best free mining software do you recommend? Okay, so would you like to answer the question, please, before I go into an English lesson again? I did it yesterday.
I can go ahead and answer it first, and then we'll definitely do the English lesson after. So there is no mining software that's 100% free, except one that I know of, which I'll plug in after this. But so generally, when you want to use a miner, there you have like the third-party miner, like the third-party software that's between you and the miner, like CUDA Miner, Cryptex, all these platforms. These will generally take, and NiceHash as well. This is the most popular one. These will generally take from you a bigger percentage because they're giving you the ease of use and they're making it easier for you to just mine right away. And then you have just bare bones, which is going like with Phoenix Miner or Team Red Miner, and those would have like a 1% fee or lower. So it's a very small percentage of fee. And then the one that is fully free so far is the one actually John made. John made a miner named Aquilix, and it's in Mining Chamber Discord. So he's just testing around with it and all that. And so far he's been using it and it's been stable for him. So that miner has 0% fee as of now. I'm sure eventually he'll implement a fee on it, but like it's still a really good option to use if you want 0 fee. But you will need to like set up the configuration just like you would set up with Phoenix Miner, and it is easier to set up. So that would be your best option. I would ask Miner on Demand in the chat. He'll link you up with it too.
I started building that new rig, and I told him I was going to try software. Now I'm running it over on Hive OS. I think my RTX machine that I'm building, I'll definitely have to hit him up on that because I wanted to do that with this last one. I just completely forgot. I've been so busy.
It's so good.
So what do we got here? Is it better for longevity and inevitability of ETH 2.0 to get Nvidia cards since they mine other coins well?
Yeah, like we mentioned with the RTX 3000, I mean the Nvidia AMD versus Nvidia cards, I would go with Nvidia as much as you can now. Usually you want to balance your basket, like get some AMD, get some Nvidia, but now how the future is looking, Nvidia, if you get a lot of Nvidia, it's not going to hurt. If you have some AMDs, you might struggle later on with either selling them or not finding the right coin to mine with them. So right now I would just stack up on Nvidia's, the RTX 3000 series, and you should be set for the future. Like your mining profits will go down when Ethereum goes fully proof of stake, which is it's still far away, but you'll still have like other coins you can mine with their strong core.
With ease.
Okay, so we got a question here, and I'm not really sure. I've mined for 5 months, and I have an equivalent of $1,000. I want to withdraw it, but the taxes are so high on Binance. Recommend some nice place to do it. I want to avoid government tax. We don't endorse people not paying their taxes on this channel. I just want to make that very clear right here. So
now I've got to swallow in my words here because
nice try there, Uncle Sam. Nice try. I see what you tried to do there.
He's got you, Uncle Biden.
This guy's a Fed.
All I can say is one thing. I use Amazon gift cards. That's all you need to know. That's it.
I gotta get that one. You gotta teach me that. That's one you didn't teach me. You be holding out on me, Mike.
Yeah, I did actually.
I told you mad love, man. And it's like, no, okay, I see how you do.
To answer that question, from my part, I would say, not with Amazon cards. I don't deal with Amazon. But I'd say, it's cryptocurrency. It is a currency in itself. So I'm not going to take the hidden message in my words, but you catch my drift. It's a currency which you can use when you're mining.
And
it's anonymous.
FBI is doing.
I know, right? So we know Daniel is a Fed. Mark that guy, please, admin. So anyway, yeah, you know what? No, I like that idea. I don't know. I'll ask you about it later on. Because I usually buy from Amazon, and I hate to say this, don't snitch on me to Amazon. Since they pulled Parler offline, I don't care anymore. If I break a GPU, I just send it back to Amazon, and they send me a new one.
It's sweet. It's sweet, definitely.
It's pretty sweet, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel ashamed sometimes. So I've sent back so many GPUs, like 9 or 10 GPUs after breaking them, Oh, man. Oh, so anyway, I didn't admit that online. Salam, guys. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I have over 20 Mac computers in my office. Is there something I can use Mac OS on as a hive mine?
As a hive to mine. Can you make a bootable Hive OS and boot into it through a Mac? I don't think so. I mean, hypothetically, you should be able to boot into a Linux through a Mac, but I don't think they have compatibility for it. Plus, there is no GPU that's you can use for mining. I believe they're all integrated GPUs. I could be wrong, but
with Max, if I'm not mistaken, everything is integrated. Mm-hmm. You might probably do something Hive-like if you put in a virtual simulator that runs Windows instead of the classic operating system, but even I'm not entirely sure if it's possible to do so.
Yeah, there's no support to it as much as I know. You can hack your way through it, but there's no point as well. I don't think there is enough hash power to mine with those. Maybe mining Monero can be a better option, but at the same time, I still think it's going to be a trouble getting it going.
Yeah. So we may conclude that if you're working with Macintosh, Apple products, you've got a nice expensive machine which doesn't make you money.
Yeah,
it just looks pretty in your office. That's the best option for that.
I'm not an Apple fanboy. Did you notice?
He did say he has Windows in a virtual. So what I would try is with that virtual machine, try looking into Monero mining XMR rig and see if you can get that going. If you can get that going with a fairly decent processor, it won't be too bad at least. You're still going to spend more on electricity, though, for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Right, you might burn that thing out to top it off. These things cause your processors and your GPUs to get pretty hot. These are things you got to look out for. Well, since the questions have slowed down, let me ask this: what do you have any sort of like, without giving away any sort of industry secrets, personal industrial secrets, for the future post Ethereum shutdown 2.0? We're talking like 2-3 years down the road. Potentially, do you have any idea what you're going to do? You got any ideas what you're looking at, possibly, potentially?
Honestly, I wonder how people get these industry secrets. I haven't came across a single one so far. I'm still as unknowledgeable as I ever was. So I'm still throwing the dice, hoping that the future will come out well. I'm keeping my hopes very low. Like, I don't want to be disappointed. So yeah. I'm fine. Like, whatever happens, mining goes away. It's fine. I'll have all these GPUs. I can either look at them or just build GPUs. Computer boot them and sell them. So it's either way, I'll just sell the GPUs or whatever. So as of any other additional information, I think I'm just going to be mining Ethereum all the way until you can't mine it anymore. I think we still have a long time for that.
I think so too. Let me ask you, have you ever considered ASIC mining? I have an ASIC miner, I have a couple. Have you ever considered ASIC mining?
I did think about them last week. The only reason I don't use them is because of the limited power I have. I feel like if I would smack 2 ASICs, I'll run out of power, and I don't want that. I rather run 12, 24 GPUs.
Yeah.
One thing about ASICs is that I don't know, it's just not appealing to me. Like, I don't like the idea of having an ASIC running so loud and hot in their mining room. It just ruins the vibe of the GPUs.
They're boring. I gotta.
Mhm.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know about you, but there is literally almost a hobbyist type of love once you really get into GPU mining. It's like I enjoy building machines. I find it fun. I'm kind of addicted to building. My wife was just like, "Oh, you want to build another rig?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You just love building rigs." I'm like, "Yeah, I
It's
do."
fun. It's absolutely fun.
It's. I mean, I love it. I love the troubleshooting now. Before it drove me crazy, but now it's just like, oh, okay. You figure something out, you learn something. You get to talk to some people who like help you figure out stuff that you never would have thought of before.
Mhm.
Like my latest rig, do I have the cards here? No, I don't have it here. No, yeah. What company was it? Gigabyte. The Gigabyte cards. I didn't know they had dual BIOSes, and I didn't know that. There's a little switch on there. And when I tried to use your guide again to BIOS modding, flashing the BIOS, it bricked the BIOS. I
Oh,
guess
man.
they're flash proof. Apparently, you can't change it. So but I was about to send it back to Amazon, and then someone was like, "No, there's a little switch on there," and I was just like, "Little itty bitty 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 switch on there," and then they told me like you could actually switch it real time and then flash the old BIOS back on to the bricked one. It was just, man, it's just fun learning this stuff,
For sure, yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, with the Gigabyte ones, you need to use the unlocked BIOS. You probably did it the same way with the other GPUs.
Yeah.
On that video for the 5700XT BIOS modding, they have a pinned comment that gives you like for Asus Strix cards and Gigabyte cards, you need to use this specific BIOS that's like a Rev 1 BIOS that's unlocked.
Oh.
So that's why I had the same issue with the Gigabyte cards that I've recently built. One of them bricked, and then I'm like, oh, so that's what I need to do. And then after that, all is well. It's all from Crypto Peasant from Red Panda Mining Discord. He let us know. It's really helpful from him.
Crypto Peasant, huh?
Yeah, that guy's a genius.
I'll take a look at this. I'm on his Discord, but I don't really get on there. It's like lately because he has so much like just going on his Discord. It's insane, just the notifications the moment you go on there. John says something. Miner on demand says something that I believe. I believe ETC will shine. This is my humble opinion.
I'm also fairly convinced of that part. Yeah, big time.
They went full in on GPU miners. And they were just like, we welcome home, gentlemen, welcome home. They just made sure we knew we were always welcome there. And yeah, so I think eventually they'll shine. And they've seen some gains. I don't know how it looks right now. I can take a look because I keep an active eye on like multiple prices.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, their price quite literally exploded.
It went up and it's $8.58 right now. It was at $9 and some change earlier today, which I personally, since I started mining, it hasn't been above $8. It's come close to $8 and it never broke it. So today is actually, as far as I know, the first day it's broken $9 since I have started mining. I've been mining for some months now.
Let's see. Yeah, in the last month they increased with 45% in total gain. So yeah, they're getting big.
It's amazing.
Very big.
Oh, D-Lam. My man, you must be new here. D-Lam, I just got into mining and I'm like really passionate about it. I really love it and I enjoy it. Like I said, it's more than a hobby. It's an actual passion. But my primary thing that I do on AbuAmerican is relationship stuff. And one of my biggest things is female submission. And I do not deal with non-submissive women. I teach you how to make a woman submissive to you. And you can do it to any woman. So if I say, hey, babe, go stand in the mining room on your head, naked, she's going to go stand on her head in the mining room naked. So it's just, yeah, I don't, yeah, I'm the boss. She's watching right now. Actually, I got 3 wives and they're all watching right now.
Well, now that I'm seeing that question concerning the loudness of the GPU miners, well, perhaps it already exists, but I haven't seen YouTube videos yet where amateur miners or professional miners are actually trying to imitate the Star Wars theme song with the mining noise. I think it should be possible.
I don't think so. So Suleiman asks, should you overclock your GPU or not? How much difference percentage are you losing either way?
All right. So should you? I mean, you should never not overclock your GPU. You should always overclock it for mining. I think like the general consensus around overclocking, we understand it wrong as for the newcomers that comes to mining, they don't understand that us GPU miners, we don't overclock it necessarily to get more performance. We overclock it to reduce the amount of power that it uses. That's like the main focus for us. So reducing the amount of power that it uses, it will make the heat less and it will make the GPU run more efficiently, which means it will increase the longevity of your GPU. So I would recommend never skipping out on overclocking your GPU, or you can call undervolting your GPU so you don't have the wrong idea of it. And that would save you probably around 40% on power usage, and it would increase your performance by at least like 10%. So it's mainly because you're reducing your power usage, not because you want to get more power out, more hash rate out of it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. 40% and 10% increase. So guys, look at that. I'm trying to find cheap 3060. We talked about this earlier, but it's almost impossible to find. I'm very pissed, man. Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the show. Just prices are ridiculous right now. I mean, everybody's trying to get into mining, network difficulties at all-time highs from so many people coming into it. Dude, it's a madhouse out there. I just bought like what was it? It was the BioStar TB250, I think it is, or something like that. Plus motherboard. I got it for like 40 euros. I went back looking for another one, and that thing's going for like 150 now. So I mean, it's prices are insane right now. Most of my stuff I get out of China. The prices usually don't change out of there, but you have to look at like long waiting periods to get that stuff. So it's just stuff, man. It's just tough out there right now.
Yeah. Also, sorry. Daniel, I saw your other question addressed to me. Hit me up on Twitter about it. We'll discuss something.
Okay, nice to you. So, man, ETC got 51% hacked. How can you protect your money as a miner if a hack occurred? What exactly is getting hacked? Dude, do this. Go to Bitsby Tripping channel, because you could do an entire show on this. Bitsby Tripping did a really good video on this about the Thanos update. And let's just say right now, Ethereum Classic, according to Bitsby Tripping, is running equal to, if not greater than, in terms of an attack. If you wanted to attack the network, you have to have more hash power than what's running on the entire Ethereum network. It's just, if you're going to do that, then you might as well just mine directly, So it's going to be, let's just say, any sort of security loops or holes that were there with ETC are now closed. I mean, nothing's impossible, but it's just.
Also, probably something we should mention concerning the episode here. There's a lot of people, and those are the kind of questions I receive a lot. Yeah, for a 51 attack, is it secured and can I perform? With that, we mentioned the topic of hash rates. Do not underestimate the amount of hashing power present on all big coins and even on some smaller coins.
Yeah.
In many established projects, the hash rates are of that kind of level. It's almost impossible to perform a 51% attack. If it should be possible, it won't be profitable, because at that point, the value of the coins will decrease, and you're making losses tremendously. So one of the reasons probably many governments aren't trying to set up their own servers to start mining, by reason they know if they want to try to centralize everything to them, they're going to make losses and will probably collapse the entire project. So power of decentralization.
Yeah, so we talked about this earlier. It's like, his roommates, they don't like the idea of having GPU miners out the house, but you could literally heat the house with it. Yeah, those things let off a ton of heat. A lot of people change their strategy in the winter for those things to take over the heating. So yeah, let me see in here. I mean, I have a personal experience with this. I don't know about you, Mining Chamber. You're our guest, so I'll let you lead with this, but I have an answer for this one myself. Hi, guys, again. Thanks a lot for your time and for this live chat. Mining with one rig is simple, but while increasing the power consumption, things get complex. What issues have you faced?
You want to go with the English lesson first this time?
Listen, you can't say it like that. All right. What issues you faced on it? What issues you faced on it, yo? Don't know, good sir. What issues have you faced? You guys are killing me with grammar. Oh my God. It's like, we go. Okay.
Understand his frustration. I'm Belgian. I normally speak Dutch, and even my English is better.
Do you got experience on this?
No offense.
So Louis, I think you'd only run across one issue, and that would be your power limits in your house. So your not your breaker boards, server PSUs are stuck in my head right now. Your fuse box and stuff like that. So if you're running, let's say, two 6 cards of 5700 XTs off of one outlet, you're probably going to trip the fuse. So you just need to make sure that you look on your fuse box and see how much watts you can draw from a single outlet. Make sure that the outlet that's, for example, in this part of the house and in this part of the room and this part of the room is not the same one. It's not running on the same circuit, because you might run a rig here and then a rig here. You still trip the fuse because they're on the same circuit. So I would just look deep into that. Other than that, you won't run into issues. I mean, just the power limitations will be the one thing that I faced. So now, AbuAmerican, you can let me know what else
No,
do you think on it.
that's exactly what happened. A matter of fact, on Tuesday, I had so exactly what he's talking about here. At the front of my house, all the front end of my house is actually where all the heavy duty power supply items are. My oven, my boiler for my shower, because it's like a little small box, but that thing superheats water really fast, and my miners are up there, and they're all in the same area. So what happens is, if you're running the shower, and this just happened to me. I was in the shower, and my wife was cooking, and the miners were going, and the entire front half of the house blew. And that main switch is downstairs in the basement at my landlord's house. So basically, I had to go down there, ring his doorbell. He had to flip the switch down there. So now on Tuesday, I have an electrician coming. He's installing a stronger power trip. So basically, it's like, that won't happen again. But then I have to also look at that the wiring in the mining room is all running off of, I've got like dual sockets. But if you know anything about electricity, you pull it out, those dual sockets are running into a single set of wires. Is that going to be safe? You see, so now I'm looking at like a lot of different issues in terms of like power usage, how much, power is going into this one socket, fuse are getting blown. So yeah, these are the type of things you need to look at, that like, if you can like separate your breakers and whatnot, for each rig, so that you're not running too much power on one circuit or breaker or whatever you call it, then that's probably, the biggest thing you're going to look at. Jazakallah khair, barakallah feek to the bill, long time follower. And much appreciated one. He says, appreciate the knowledge, guys. Been trading crypto, trying to make the transition to mining now. Awesome, dude. If you need any help, hit my man up on Mining Chamber, join his Discord. I can only recommend it, dude. I mean, it's like 99.9% of everything I learned is from this guy sitting right here. And that's why it was very important to me to have him on. I mean, I just turned on his channel. I just started doing crazy stuff. What for me is crazy.
I appreciate it, brother.
I bought the GPU for like 500 something euros, and I just like, well, let me go ahead and try and mod this BIOS. Never did it before, and it worked. So
awesome.
Appreciated. Super chat. Yeah, follow him. He's everywhere. He's got his website, miningchamber.com. He's now on Twitter. He's new on Twitter. Give him some love. Give him some followers. He's got a very big following on YouTube. Go ahead and check him out. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. This is a good one. Guys, we're coming up on 1 hour, so we're going to close this off soon. So I'm going to try and get to as many questions as possible. Discard paying electrical bills. Thank you. That's what I do. What do you suggest as a strategy for mining earnings? HODL or sell?
You want to go ahead? Gracious interest?
No, please.
Sorry.
Please.
All right. So let's see. HODL or sell? That honestly depends to you. You don't have to pay electricity. And let's say the market is at like right now, honestly, I would be honest right now, with the Ethereum at this price, I would probably be selling. This is just personal opinion. It's not a financial advice. So, but when Ethereum was back at $500, $400, I would probably hold it. Like, it depends on how you project the price is going. So if you know that the price, or not, if you have an idea that the price will go up eventually, I would HODL it and then sell it later on. Or I would just build up your crypto portfolio. It's all up to your, your own needs. Usually I would take out and buy more hardware, since I'm addicted to the hardware part. But it's up to you. It's what you want to do, and you'd only hold if you think that the price will go up. You would sell if you think the price is hitting a peak. So that's my opinion on this, for sure.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add to that question, naturally, someone who likes to keep transactions on chain, I'm going to keep it short. But when it concerns selling, never do it during a bull run. Wait until the value becomes level. With that, you're more certain of the gains you will be making, and at that point, as a miner, you will have made much more coins. So wait until it becomes level, not during a run, because for the same situation, it might be possible you will be losing more money than otherwise. So yeah.
Okay, guys, we actually covered this earlier. Jay Smith asked, how much money do you make per mining rig, and how much money does it cost to make a rig? Guys, check it out. So what you can do is this. You can go to the website, whattomine.com, no space, whattomine.com. You can put in, you can put in what type of graphics cards. They've got a whole list of graphic cards at the top of the screen. If you want to, if you want to get like an 8-card machine, 6-card machine, you're running out of your gaming PC and you only got 1 card, you can put that in there.
Alhamdulillah.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
I know, like when a kill over and die. You could put that information in there, and you can put in your kilowatt per hour, and you can calculate, and it can give you a rough idea how much you're going to make in a day, month, whatever else. You can do the math on your own, guys. So go ahead and check that out. It's a resource that you should really be using if you're going to get into mining and during mining anyway. So make sure you check that out instead of just asking guys how much they're making or whatever else.
Absolutely.
Ethereum Bitcoin going to break in the next 2 weeks and get stable. We'll see. It's all speculation. Right now, we're in new territory in cryptocurrency. I've been following cryptocurrency for like almost 8 years now, 6-7 years, and but this is the first time I actually got into mining. It's insane, man. Right now, we've never seen anything like this with institutions actually getting into it. We had the U.S. Treasury recently just like make it okay for the banking system to issue their own cryptocurrency, to become validating nodes, and to do business transactions in cryptocurrency. So we're in completely new territory. We can't tell what's going to happen. This has never happened before. Everybody's like, oh, the crash is going to come. It always does. But never have we seen companies like Grayscale buying 10.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is going to happen. 21 might be a full bull run year. It might go bare like tomorrow. We don't know. It's new territory, guys.
What I'd like to add, going to get stable, long term, because one of the latest news I've received was President-elect Biden signing a bill for a new relief bill going to be launched, which implies more money is going to be printed. So expect the bull run to continue for the time being.
That's true. Yeah, Biden did say he was going to do, what was it? A new stimulus package.
I believe it was $3 trillion or something like it. It was quite a lot.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Miner on Demand says it's
really
true.
To the market cap.
Yeah, PayPal, they got like 10 million worth, I think it was. Yeah, that's true. Just on that real quick, I actually got some information on this. This is confirmed. Guys, don't go messing. In my humble opinion, I'm going to give this as financial advice. Do not buy cryptocurrency from PayPal. They do not issue the cryptocurrency to you. It doesn't matter if it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever else. They hold it benevolently on your behalf, and they will not let you or allow you to transfer it to your private wallet. Therefore, you do not own the cryptocurrency. They own it, and they'll let you trade it back in for fiat. But if you want to say, hey, I want to send this cryptocurrency I just bought to my private wallet, they won't do it. So I'd avoid that, in my humble opinion, guys. That's my humble opinion on that. Just stay away from buying, cryptocurrency from PayPal right now until they sort out like allowing you to do transfers to your private wallet.
Definitely agree.
Definitely.
Okay, guys, we've come up on 1 hour, and Mining Chamber is giving us a ton of his time. I really appreciate having you here. If people want to get a hold of you, if they want to find you, your channel, all this stuff, where can we do it?
Well, first is the channel, so youtube.com/c/mining chamber. You'll find us there, and then from there you can join the Discord from the links in the description. They're in every video's description, or even the little icons next to the channel. So feel free to join, ask questions. It's always best to ask on the community servers like Red Panda Mining server, Mining Chamber server, all these other awesome YouTubers servers, and then everyone will help you out like that. Like, don't feel like nobody will help you out if you ask a stupid question. Ask it all. There's never a stupid question. So yeah, and of course the website miningchamber.com, you guys will be able to find more up-to-date stuff. If I mess up in a video, I'm most likely going to fix it in that website. So that's one of the best options there.
Yeah, nice. All right, guys, you heard it there. Dimitri, you got anything you want to drop?
Just going to launch a new course on trading, but nothing too mind-blowing. It was an honor having the talk with Mining Chamber here. I know the guy, he's very big in the crypto.
Pleasure is all mine, guys. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really nice having you here, guys. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for Blockchain Bros episode number 4. Hopefully, in the future, if we can, cover something with mining, we hope we can have you back on, man. It's been a total pleasure. Until
Absolutely.
then, follow him on Twitter. Like I said, go check out his channel, YouTube, and everything. It is a beautifully, wonderful, very comprehensively well put together resource. I'm not just saying that because he's on the channel. It's absolute truth.
Shit.
I wish I could do structured videos like his and good quality. So check him out. All right, guys, it's been nice having you here, and we are out.